Now, Turkey, which had one of the fastest growing coronavirus outbreaks in the world, says it's turning the tide. The rate of infection is slowing to its lowest level since the first recorded case back in March. The authorities say a nationwide contact tracing system involving almost 6,000 teams has been the key. From Istanbul, our international correspondent Orla Guerin reports.
How do you track a virus that sweeps unseen through a city? In Istanbul, home to more than 16 million, the answer is you don't waste a minute.
Right from the very beginning, we were ready for the COVID-19. This is where we pick up the calls.
They've been contact tracing since day one, when Turkey's first case was diagnosed in March. The system is well developed from decades of tracking measles. It relies on tireless work by doctors and nurses.
We are, as a team, feel as if we were in a war because people forget to go home. They don't know the time frames that they're working in. We say that, okay, 8 hours is completed, but they don't even care going home because they know that this is a duty that they have to complete before it spreads to anyone else.
So 1,200 tracing teams fan out across the city. We joined them in Fatih, the heart of old Istanbul. Step by step, they track the virus. Here, checking on two flatmates whose friend is COVID positive. Sumaya and Nazla, both in thetheir 20s, are tested on their doorstep. Just a day after developing mild symptoms.
We follow foreign news, and when we first heard about the virus, we were really scared. But Turkey has rallied faster than we thought, much faster than Europe and the United States.
Well, the doctors are out of their PPE now. Everything has been bagged up. It's going to be disposed of safely. They've taken the swabs and they'll be sent off to the lab, and the results will be back within 24 hours. And even if they test negative, they'll have to remain at home for another 14 days.
We're keeping the virus out of the streets. That's very important for us. Once we isolate them, the virus stops spreading to their friends, to their relatives, to their co-workers.
That seems to be working so far, along with widespread testing and partial lockdowns. The official death toll here is relatively low, around 4,300. International experts say Turkey has managed to shield its people from a greater disaster. Orla Guerin, BBC News, Istanbul.
In the last few weeks, we've seen how communities across the UK have been dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. It's been a particular challenge in rural areas where the population is often older and poorer, with limited public transport and broadband. But in the village of Piddle-Hinton in Dorset, a huge volunteer effort has brought unexpected benefits for its 500 residents, as John Kay explains.
It might look idyllic, but even here, lockdown is tough.
People are frightened, people are scared, and people are lonely, and we're in chaos.
Vickey is delivering food and medication to her elderly neighbours.
Wait a minute, Jim.
Jim is 87 and lives alone.
Morning, my lovely.
Without you, I couldn't manage. You're marvellous.
Every day, the most vulnerable people get a visit.
But the community's been so good with me, and that's what kept me going. Because it's been a hard time.
I think we're doing the things that we've been put off doing for a long time, which is get friendly with your neighbours, and look out for each other. And it is an opportunity to right a few wrongs. There are elements within our village, within our societies, that have been left out. Now's a chance to actually look after them, look out for them.
With no village shop, they've had to find other ways of getting food to the most vulnerable. There's now a hardship fund.
So 8 kilos of bananas.
And this farming family has started delivering to those who can't get to the shops.
You all right, Luke?
Yeah, you?
including the Gypsy and Travellers camp, where Romani families like Luke's have sometimes felt cut off in the past.
How have the last few weeks improved the sense of community here?
Well, it's helped a lot. Show them respect, they show you respect, help them help, they help you out, so it's a bit like favour for favour.
Does it feel like it's a happier place to live these days?
Yeah, it is.
There is an unexpected sense of renewal here, of connections being made. The ladies who normally decorate the church now make posies, delivered by local teenagers.
We are thinking of you and thanking you for all you do, love the village.
To key workers like Abi, a COVID nurse.
It's lush. I love it. Every week I get one, and it just means, yeah, it's just lifts me up, makes me feel good. And just that I'm not on my own in this. We're all together. We're all doing this together.
What have you learned as a community?
We're all just looking out for each other. I think it's that sense of being covered and cared for and loved.
By sharing their talents and working together, this village has managed to turn a threat into a fresh start. John Kay, BBC News, Piddle-Hinton in Dorset.